Welcome to Central News. I'm Hilary Ntwiso. In today's news, Tauranga Girls College sprinter Abby Goldie will travel to Ukraine in July to represent New Zealand in the medley relay team for the 2013 IAFF World Youth Championships. The Tauranga teenager has ambitions of competing in the 2016 Olympics in Brazil. Abby says the Youth Championships will be a great stepping stone.
Well, I'll probably just continue with what I'm doing at the moment. Maybe step it up a bit more, but I'll trust my coach and he should get me ready for them, hopefully.
Weather is no longer the concern it once was for Mystery Creek's event centre, thanks to top-notch technology that landed at the site 2 months ago. The weather station, which has now had time to learn the microclimatic condition of the Mystery Creek site, just in time for field days, allows Richard Ferdinands, the operations manager at Mystery Creek, to strengthen the operational and logistical elements involved in such a large-scale event. Dr Murray Poulter, Chief Scientist for Atmosphere at NIWA, explains NIWA has just relayed its first official forecast reading for Field Days 2013, stating that the weather looks promising for the biggest agribusiness event in the Southern Hemisphere. 47 abandoned kiwifruit orchards, mostly in the Bay of Plenty, may be harbouring the vine disease PSAV, putting neighbouring orchards at risk. Kiwifruit Vinehouse CEO Barry O'Neill says the organisation is working with owners of the orchards it has been informed of by regional councils. Kiwifruit Vinehouse regional coordinators, growers and post-harvest companies. Under newly introduced National PSAV Pest Management Plan, every landowner or occupier responsible for management of a kiwifruit orchard must ensure that kiwifruit vines are winter-pruned and tied by October the 1st each year, and that the majority of commercially viable kiwifruit is harvested by July 1st each year. A Mount Maunganui shopper has hit the jackpot after winning $9.83 million on Saturday night's Lotto Powerball draw. The winning ticket was sold at Paper Power in Mount Maunganui. Lotto Strike was won by a lucky player in Tauranga who pockets $479,000. The winning ticket was sold at New Zealand Lottery's online channel My Lotto. Another Lotto player in Auckland is also celebrating after winning a $500,000 share of First Division. The winning ticket was sold at Hill Park Superette and Lotto in Manurewa. Now for our region's weather. Hamilton, your Tuesday will be mostly fine with a southeasterly breeze. Your expected high is 18 and an overnight low of 7. Your Tuesday Tauranga will have increasing fine spells and a southeasterly. Your expected high is 18 and an overnight low of 11. Just ahead, the Field Day Scholarship recipients. Welcome to Central News on TV Central. Two University of Waikato students have been awarded the 2013 National Agricultural Field Day Scholarship. I caught up with the two students to find out more. Nadia, tell us about your research, Flipping Soil.
Okay, so I'm going to be looking at some of the reasons why mechanically flipped soils are better for pasture production than undisturbed soils in the Galatea Basin. So soil flipping's a mechanical process where they dig in, where they bring in a digger to dig to the top 1 to 2 metres of soil, and this mixes and inverts all the soil layers. The soil in the Galatea Basin is quite interesting. There's a pumice layer that sits just under the topsoil, and this acts as a barrier to plant roots and makes the soil free draining. And so this leads the soil to be drought prone in the summer. So with flipping, they're aiming to not only break up that pumice layer, but also bring buried soil layers that have a higher clay and nutrient content than that pumice layer up. So farmers have already taken the initiative to flip soils to whole paddocks, and they've left a control strip next to the flip side, so you can clearly see the flip side of the paddock outgrowing the undisturbed side of the paddock. So with my work, I'm specifically going to be looking at the moisture holding capacities of the previously flip soils and the undisturbed soils. And I guess my work will just be building on an understanding of a current farming practice that has shown to improve productivity in the southeastern Bay of Plenty region.
How will the scholarship help with your study?
Oh, okay, well it's going to be a huge help because obviously there's travel costs to cover here, back and forth to Galatea. I'm also going to need it to cover analytical costs and also course-related costs associated with my thesis.
How might your research help those in the industry at Field Days this year?
Okay, I guess my research will be more relevant to farmers in drought-prone areas. There isn't a lot of information known about the changes in soil following flipping, so if we can identify some of the reasons why pasture reduction increases, like better water holding capacity in the topsoils, then we can kind of better predict the results of soil flipping on other soil types and maybe be able to apply soil flipping to other areas of New Zealand to achieve the same results that we're getting in Galatea.
Because Tali, you got the other half of the scholarship, so tell us about your research.
My research is really just to follow on from what a colleague developed over the last 2 years, decolouring blood meal for use in thermoplastics. So it was basically worked out that we can bleach it with a commercial bleach and it'll remove the colour and odour of the blood meal, which is really, really great for developing a translucent plastic. It was a little bit trial and error, and really what's happened is there isn't a fundamental understanding of what changes occurred on a molecular level. So, and of course, what occurs at a molecular level will define the material properties of the plastic. So that's pretty much my doctoral research, is looking at what actually happened and how that's going to affect the material properties at the end of the run.
And you are doing a PhD, so how will that scholarship help you?
Really it takes the pressure off having to tutor undergraduate classes, so it takes the pressure off having to do additional work. While, you know, also if I need research done outside of the budget, I can pay for it myself rather than having to beg my company or others to try and front up some money, so it's good.
How might your research be helpful to those in the industry?
Really, I'm turning an agricultural-based protein into a plastic, so not only will it help others doing something similar with non-food proteins and turning them into sort of plastic polymers. Also, there's not very much known about protein oxidation and what the long-term effects are on its degradation in the environment, and you know what structural changes have happened and what mechanical changes happen. So yeah, like it'll help everyone either looking at protein oxidation or turning sort of renewable proteins into plastics.
When can we expect to see blood meal plastic?
Well, we've come a long way quite quickly. Really, we've probably got a couple of more years before you'll see sort of Novotain, the original product, come on the market. As for the decoloured product, I'm not actually too sure. I've still got a couple of more years research to do, so it might be a little bit longer yet.
Is blood meal plastic recyclable?
We've done some short-term studies showing that blood meal plastic is compostable and that it'll also sort of break down under UV and weathering conditions. So yes, it is. It does break down under if you threw it outside, it would break down. And not only that, but it would provide some basic nutrients like nitrogen back to the plant life around them. So
what are you going to be doing at Field Days?
I'm going to be working on the premier stand on the Wednesday, the 12th of June. Yeah, so it should be good.
The National Agricultural Field Days will be held at the Mystery Creek Event Centre from 12th until the 15th of June. For more information, visit fielddays.co.nz. Coming up next, fundraising for a local boy. Welcome back. Teachers at Kids on Broadway have come together to organise a mixed auction fundraising event. The event will be held at the Matamata United Sports Club rooms on Saturday, June the 26th, to help Johnny Cooper Lohman and his family. Melaine, tell us about Johnny.
Johnny, he's a 5-year-old boy that's been coming to Kids on Broadway since he was 3 years old. 2 days before Christmas 2012, he was diagnosed with brain tumours. Since this time, he's been staying in Starship Hospital, and his family have been accommodated in the Ronald McDonald House. So there's been a lot of upheaval with the family. They've been able to come home for short periods of time, and then they have to go back again. Johnny, when I think about him, he's a very kind-hearted little boy. He's friends with everyone, and yet on the other side he's got a real sense of humour. He loves to trick. A teacher has also described him as being very humble, and so you can understand the depth of his nature. He's got this passion for dinosaurs. It's incredible. There's not anything that he doesn't know about any dinosaur. You know,
from what they eat right down to how many toes they have. You know, it's amazing. He just knows everything.
Yes.
I don't even know the names of all the dinosaurs yet.
Yeah.
Johnny, what's the name of this one? You know?
At 5?
Yeah.
Oh,
exactly.
he was like that at 3. He's just amazing. He just loves them.
He keeps us on our toes. You know, he's got a very inquisitive mind and, you know, deep thinking. So
loves it on the farm too. Goes for rides in the mule with his dad, and knows all the machinery and things on the farm as well. So well-rounded little boy.
Because you guys are going to organise a fundraising event to help Johnny's family. So tell us about that.
Yes, we are. On June the 22nd, we are in the process of planning an auction evening. It's going to be held at the Matamata United Sports Grounds Club. It will start at 7 p.m, and on that night we're going to have various raffles and silent auctions as well as major auctions.
So how can we get tickets to that?
There are tickets at Fraser's Take Note.
Cool. So also, what are you going to, because you're going to do a little bit of a silent auction, so what are some of the things that you're going to auction off?
We have some major auctions, which will be, one of them is a kayak, we have a glass house, there's a weekend at the Mount in a luxury apartment, there's also one in Taupo, there is a day's fishing on a launch, so there's all sorts of exciting things, and there's a few other silent auctions as well.
Oh wow, and because have those been donated?
Yes, everything's been donated.
Oh, that's amazing.
It is
amazing how the community comes together, you know, for something like this. It's so cool.
Oh, that's awesome. Because what is Kids on Broadway?
Kids on Broadway is a non-profit community-based organisation. We're licensed for 25 children from 2 years to 5, or actually 6, but usually don't be till they're 5. So a non-profit organisation, and we're there for the community, and we, you know, strive to embrace the practices of quality care and education.
Why did you guys decide that you need to fundraise for Johnny?
Ever since we found out about Johnny and what he's going through.
Yeah.
Stop it.
That's all right. I mean, so
we just wanted to do something. We just felt helpless, and so have like the rest of the community. And this is our way, and we're going to do it.
It's our way of showing us our support and that we're there for them, you know. And the community have also shown this as well with all their donations. It's been fabulous.
It's just hard knowing what to do, you know, or something like that, because you can't really do anything. So this will be amazing. It's going to be a really fun night too.
And it's all for Johnny and his family.
I mean, you know, because you did say off camera that 2 of the tumours are now inoperable. Is that right?
That's why he's going through treatment. He's had radiotherapy and he's going through chemo at the moment. So
at 5 years old, it's a lot to go through.
It's a long time, you know, having these treatments too. So, you know, since Christmas up until probably September.
It's not very nice. So how long did it take to organise the event though?
A couple of months.
Yes.
On and off, you know, regular meetings and just getting the community together and getting the awareness out there of it, and, you know, gathering all the donations, because people have just been so generous. Yeah, would love to name everybody and everything, but we just can't remember them all at the moment. But yeah, but they will be mentioned, and there'll be personal thank yous that will be going out to everybody that's supported us.
Oh, awesome. Because you guys have got another fundraising event where Westpac Bank has come on board. I think that's so nice of them.
Yeah, it's incredible. Yes.
When I approached Miranda at Westpac Bank and told her what we were doing when we wanted to open up an account with them, she said, what can we do? You know, and this has been the response from so many people. And she instantly thought, okay, we do sausage sizzles for various other things. How about we do that? Friday mornings is great for my staff because we're not, you know, we've got more people on board. So on the 21st of June, they are going to be outside the bank with their sausage sizzle, and a few of our parents will be there with some raffles that we have got together, and that'll be a great way to start off, and also, you know, just remind people that it's happening as well.
Visit Kids on Broadway's website to find out how you can get involved. Just ahead, a field day seminar. If you have just joined us, welcome to Central News. A business panel will come together at the University of Waikato tomorrow night to discuss building export earnings in the agricultural industry. I caught up with the convener, Jacqueline Rowath. Jacqueline, tell us about the upcoming mini symposium.
The great event for agri-technology that's been organised here at the Gallagher Academy and involves all 8 universities, looking at agri-technologies and how we grow business offshore. So, looking forward to as many people as possible registering and being with us to discuss the difficulties and indeed the solutions about generating more for the economy.
What key players in the agri-business sector will be there?
Well, we've certainly got ministry involvement, and we've also got some fascinating stories from livestock, from technology, and indeed for products with systems wrapped around them as people who are speaking. We've got interest from the new organisations like Callaghan Innovation, and overall we've got as many people involved in agri-technology and agribusiness, including new students, as possible, being there to talk about the issues and the possibilities.
So what is the main focus point of the symposium?
Really networking and showcasing great examples of how people have done it. I've had several of my students working with chief executives from different types of companies, looking at how they've managed to take their businesses offshore and what pitfalls they've experienced and how they've overcome the barriers. And it's really this sharing of knowledge that will allow New Zealand to move forward in the agribusiness, agri-technology area, so that we're reliant certainly on agriculture for at least quite a while, but not just the products, it's also the things around it.
How much does the agricultural sector add to New Zealand's economy through its exports?
Well, there's the fascinating thing, because the estimates are $25.3 billion, but it's certainly a mind-boggling amount, and a huge amount of that is to do with milk. But when one looks at what those $25.3 billion worth at our border actually generate offshore, we find that consumers are prepared to pay something like 5.5 to almost 8 times as much when it arrives on their plate in the restaurant or in the special products packaging that other people use. So we'd quite like to actually catch up that 25.3 to the potentially rather more, let's multiply it by 8, and see how much of that we can bring into the economy, and it starts here.
So should we be looking at manufacturing and wrapping our products here?
Potentially, and we've got some very innovative wrapping going on, but it's also just the whole adding value along the innovation value chain and ensuring that other people offshore know what great production systems and what a great innovation chain, let's not call it the supply chain, but the innovation chain, and many of the innovations have been generated in the Waikato region. So the other 7 universities are coming to exchange ideas, and let's all work together and get the synergies going.
Who can come along to this event?
Anybody can come by registering. We'd love them to be passionate about the industry, but then most people in agriculture and agribusiness and education do really care about it. And all they have to do is to go to the Waikato website, dial in this symposium, and then they can see that we start at 4 o'clock on the 11th of June. We'll probably go to about 8, but there's a lot of networking in that as well as these key speakers. and the whole discussion session that I'll be chairing. And it's on the 11th of June as the start of the Mystery Creek Field Days, which is of course huge for the region.
Who's the event supported by?
Well, there are people who are involved are all the companies who are giving time, like speakers. Sarah Kennedy from Fonterra is coming, for instance, and we do have a fascinating milk cocktail competition which is being sponsored by the Food Innovation Network. And everybody who gives time is effectively involved in this, so the universities are heavily involved, and of course it's being organised here, so University of Waikato regards it as a key event.
Milk cocktail, that sounds intriguing.
Well, if you go to any bar, and of course people like going to bars, particularly when they're of a certain generation, and we rely on those generations to be our students. And there are many cocktails that are actually milk-based, and cream-based. You can think of, for instance, I probably shouldn't say Baileys, but there we are, that's the classic one. And so there's a challenge to go around who can invent the most exciting and preferably delicious and not with any side effects cocktail, and there's going to be a competition.
How can viewers register for the event?
Very simply by going to the Waikato University website, which is www.waikato.ac.nz, and then on the search engine look for agribusiness and the symposium will pop up, and it's a very easy system to just register. There is no charge. We're encouraging people who care about the industry to get involved and do the networking and spreading of ideas, and that's what Field Days is all about. This is the start of the Field Days. It's 11th of June.
And it is a New Zealand uni initiative, so tell us about some of the students that will be presenting there.
We're very excited to have students working on this whole going global area, and certainly some of my senior students have been working and they've got more and more involved in the possibilities. They're even setting up their own businesses now, which is rather charming. So we have students who've been looking at the milk companies and how they've taken added value products offshore, looking at cooperatives and how they change the industry, so it's not just in New Zealand, but can we have cooperative action in other countries? And we've also looked at some farming systems offshore and how easy is it? And I would say there that the answer is you can't just take a New Zealand system overseas, but New Zealand farmers are very innovative, so they've done some great adaptations. That's very important, and it's here some of our stories about the biological industries, the packing industries, how we manage fertiliser in New Zealand and develop patents around this sort of spreading of fertiliser. All these are speakers at the forum.
That is the news for today. We really want you to be involved, so like us on Facebook and let us know your views. If you have news including your own video and photos, go to our website and hit upload. Thanks for joining us. I will be back tomorrow night with more guests from in and around the regions. I'm Hilary Entwistle. Have a lovely evening.
This has been an Alpha Media production, a division of Television Media Group.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.